Hey shipmates, I got a couple of things I'm going to try on this pot. Made a mess, now I have to try and clean it up. I got some dish soap in there with some water. I'm just going to bring it up to a boil and start to simmer that for about 15 minutes and see what happens. So we got this thing up to a simmer and it's doing its job a little bit. I don't know how long it's going to work or how well it's going to work, but we'll see. I have a couple other ideas if it doesn't. What happened here is I got stupid and I was simmering some food and thought I had it low enough until my nostrils told me I was wrong and it started burning. And by the time I got there, I had all this garbage on the bottom. But some of the stuff is starting to come off, and I'll give this thing about 15 minutes and see what happens. Okay, so I've had this thing going for about 15 minutes and I'm going to turn this stove off. Looks like it's done a little bit, but I don't think it's going to cut it. But big problem I have here is this enameled pot, so I can't really use any metal in it to try and scrub it, so I can't get the... But let's see what happens here. Give this thing a little scrub. You probably can't see it from all the steam. Some of the stuff is coming off. This kind of deglaze this pan for me, so I'm gonna see what I come up with. I'm gonna scrape this thing out and I'll empty it out and be back in a couple. This is actually working out pretty well. Just going around the edge and the stuff is coming off pretty well. Pretty happy. It's got to be difficult to see. I'll show you in a minute what it looks like when it's in. So I was able to scrape most of it out without any problem at all. So I think what I'm going to do is put some dish detergent in here and see what happens if I try to scrub it out a little bit. Don't need a whole lot. This little set I have. This is enameled cast iron, so I can't really use any steel wool on it or anything. So this is either going to work or I'm going to have to come up with something else. Try a little handy pad. As you can see, that's not really doing very much. I'm sure I can get this off, but it's going to take me a long time. So I'm going to try something else here. So I'm going to try something I've seen on YouTube and hoped I never had to try. But we're going to try and mix some dish detergent, baking soda, and some vinegar together and make a little paste, and we'll rub that on and see what happens. So let's take our dish detergent, go in here, just a bunch in there. Then I've got some baking soda that is just about done in my refrigerator, so I'll pop that in there. And a little bit of vinegar. I'm measuring this, maybe a couple. Whoa! Very cool. I like it. Mix this all up, kind of dissolve that baking soda. This is doing something. I don't know what kind of a paste it is, but I think we'll kind of dump some of this in here and spread it around a little bit. See what happens. What are you doing to me here? I don't like the sound of metal on enamel. Let's pour it all in there. Just use maybe a paper towel to move it around and just try and cover everything up. Get a little bit of this on everything and see what happens. I didn't really go back to any videos to see what the measurements were, so I just dumped a bunch of everything in here. Alrighty. So let's give that about another 15 minutes and see what happens. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes since I started this. About 40 minutes into this whole process, and it's looking kind of nasty. So I'm hoping that this did something. So let's just kind of see what happened here. Does this stuff want to come off? Well, it looks like it's working. Didn't really spend much time on the sides because it kind of washed down, but as you can see, stuff is actually coming off. This is awesome. I think I'll forget about the simmer next time and just go with the dishwashing liquid, baking soda, and vinegar. Let me get in here and wash this thing out, and I'll show you what it looks like when I'm done. Well, the verdict's in on this one. Tell you what, if you burn a pot or pan and you get all that garbage caked on the bottom that you can't get out, this is the way to go. Take some dish detergent, vinegar, baking soda, mix it up, and let it sit on it for about 15 minutes, and stuff comes off really, really easy. Hope this helps. Thank you, YouTube, for showing me how to do this.